Hi, my name is Corey Minter, and I'm here with Darcel. We're with Trinity Employment Specialists, and we are a staffing organization. We have an entire division that focuses on staffing for travel nursing. And so one of our main goals is we want to add value to job seekers that are looking to move into travel nursing, to give them education and help make people be more knowledgeable about this industry, because it's an industry that if you figure it out, you can make double the amount of money that you can in a traditional job according to the U.S. labor statistics. So we want to get started with a topic that I think is interesting. We've done it before, but I think that we're going to get even some different information because there's so much that you can talk about with this topic. So I want to do it again and see what new information we might get out of it. Canceled contracts can happen. In fact, we just went through COVID where probably a lot of contracts were canceled.
Correct.
The reason that they can cancel it is because if their census goes down or something that's of a crisis type of a manner happens at the hospital, they can cancel your contracts. And so can the nurse. But the way that you go about doing it is really, really important.
The nurse cannot cancel a contract. Just FYI.
They can't.
They cannot.
Okay, explain that.
Once they sign that contract, they have to work those 13 weeks.
Okay, well, let's just say that there is a crisis in that. I mean, let's just say they have a family death.
Okay.
Or a family crisis that they have to handle. How does that work?
Okay. They would talk to the manager. They would talk to their recruiter. And what we would do is sit down. So, because that hospital is expecting them for 13 weeks. So, yes, there's times when things happen. So, we're going to take 7 days, give you 7 days. Okay. We already done put in 7 days for you to be a week out when you have a contract. So what we're going to do is take those 7 days that you was going to take off for whatever the reason and take care of your emergency. Okay. And if they can't do that, then we will attach an additional 7 weeks on your contract.
Okay.
Because they can't just go and scramble to find a nurse to finish that contract out.
Okay.
It's very important to that facility.
Okay.
That's why they do contracts. They need that nurse.
Okay.
And I know it's unfortunate that sometimes the hospitals will cancel. And this says, okay, what if they cancel? Nurse, don't panic. No, don't panic. If a hospital cancel you, call me. What we will do is reroute her or him to a different contract.
Okay.
That's very important.
Really, it's just more of how you handle your business. And it sounds like this can be negotiated,
Absolutely.
Worked out.
Absolutely.
No one's going to be a Nazi with someone. And at least at Trinity, I can promise you this. We're going to do everything we can to do the right thing with the nurse. That might not be the case with all staffing firms. I don't want to, but it may be the case with all staffing firms. But we want to be a little bit different in the way that we handle things.
And I'm a case in point. I have seen it where a nurse or facility or nurse had to cancel. Instead of the agency working it out with the nurse to keep the nurse, because some agencies is all about numbers, as you mentioned.
Right.
And it's like, okay, next.
Yeah.
No, we want to be different.
We
want to
always will
sit down and talk to you and talk with the manager of the hospital and see what we could do to work it out.
Okay.
And they appreciate that.
What are some other reasons why hospitals might cancel a contract other than just the census is down?
Unless there's some discrepancy on the floor with nurses. And that happens from time to time.
Okay.
That's
what
why
do you mean by discrepancy?
Okay, when a nurse goes in, you've never worked at this hospital, you don't even live in this state. You go in there constantly telling people what you're making.
Oh, okay.
That's a no-no. Because you're really going to rub these nurses who's working their tails off, making half of what you're making. That could cause friction.
Right. Well, we have to be careful as a staffing agency to because it's illegal for us to tell nurses that you can't go and say what you're making. So we have to be really careful with that. And that's under FLSA. We have to make sure and give that freedom. But could it? I mean, But I understand what you're talking about. If they're creating a really big
Right.
problem, we would have to go to bat for the nurse actually
Right.
in that case. But any other thing, I understand what you're talking
Right.
about.
But because it does, and the nurses know, they don't go purposely out and do it. You know, this law just came down where we can't say, don't tell about your pay, but you're making
Double
what they're making.
all the other
How would
nurses
you
are.
feel if, I mean, put yourself in their place.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of times with a nurse, really, if you want to create some enemies, let me give you a really great idea on
Yeah,
how to do
please.
that. Okay, go and brag to other people that your life is better than
Yes,
theirs, and
exactly.
make it a top priority
Yes,
of yourself.
yes.
You go do this, and I'm telling you, human beings for some reason they don't respond very well
No.
to this. We
No.
got to move on
Yeah.
ourselves.
And they could be late. And don't be late for work. Don't show up for
They'll cancel
late.
you.
They will cancel you.
Right.
They'll give you a chance one time, but you keep doing it, then they will cancel your contract.
Right. Consequences of canceling a contract. This is really important.
Yeah.
So I can tell them or you can tell
Oh,
them.
you could tell them.
An MSP that we have contracts with, when we have a contract with the hospital, we have a contract with hundreds of hospitals.
Yes.
Okay, these are huge companies. If they don't like you, they will cancel you in that system. From that point forward, Trinity can no longer place that nurse, and you are canceled at hundreds of hospitals, all because you didn't handle your business right. And once you get flagged in that system, you're done, and there's not one single thing that we can do to advocate for you.
Not only Trinity, any other agency. You're in there because we all use the same VMSs.
Right.
So your name, you're flagged. You're blackballed.
A VMS stands for a vendor management system. That's one of these big companies. Also, we can refer to them as MSPs, which are management service providers. So those are the acronyms that we're using there. So if you are going to take a contract, be very careful. If you get upset, how you handle your business could impact you ever doing travel nursing if one of these groups gets upset with you.
Correct.
Are there any guarantees in a contract, Darcel?
There's no guarantees.
Okay.
There's guarantees that says, because on our side of the contract it says, okay, we're going to sign this nurse up for 13 weeks. We can cancel 2 shifts. And that's the only thing what is about a guarantee.
Okay.
They could cancel 2 shifts on that 13-week contract for any nurse.
Okay.
That is the minimum.
Do they have to make it up?
No.
Okay.
That is something that they would put in the contract.
Okay.
They can do that automatically.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. What if you get canceled?
What if you give cancel, you call me, and they said we should already know that you're canceled. What I'm going to do is find you something else. I'm already looking for you something else after you've been on the contract for 6 weeks. That's automatic.
Okay.
Because I want to be able to transition that nurse from that contract to another. So I'm already looking for them something else.
Okay.
So we'll find you something. You just give me a date that you're ready to start. Because a lot of times when a nurse get canceled, they need to take a couple days off.
How often does this happen?
It's very rare.
Yeah.
Very, very rare.
How many times do you think you've...
I maybe 3 times. Within,
Really?
Yeah, it's very rare.
Okay.
Very rare.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I hope that this helps you to understand just the different things that are that go on with travel nursing, especially behind the scenes. One of the things that we try to do at Trinity is make certain that we put quality in front of quantity. And that means the way that we treat nurses. It's really important to us in this organization to make sure that we have something I learned from Lou Holtz in a book is just the do right rule. No matter what, we want to make sure that we're doing right. Even when it costs us money, I'm fine with doing right. If it's doing right and it costs us more money, we need to go do that. God's our provider, and we'll always be able to rely on that if we can just always do right. If Trinity can help you in any way, we would love to help you. Give us a call at 918-622-2588. You can speak with Darcel. She can tell you anything you need to know about travel nursing, or you can just go online. Check us out online at trinityemployment.com.